Hey there, if you want to start nutrition coaching in 2026, this live video is for you because I'm going to break down everything you need to get started nutrition coaching. I'm going to make it even better for you. Number one, let's make this live today interactive. So if you have a question about the process or something about your own specific situation and everything you need to get started, drop it in the comments and I'll address it as we get going. The second thing is I want to take this even a step further and give you everything you need in terms of like not just the instruction, but like the literal roadmap to get things started. I'm going to raffle off one of our Nutrition Coaching Academy's full on nutrition coaching system, like the templates, the scripts, the systems. Uh, all you need to do to be in the running for that is comment the words system. You can be doing it on the replay. You can be doing it now today. I'll keep tally of it here. And I'm going to raffle off an entire nutrition coaching system. But I want to dive into things because I know so many of you want to get this stuff started and you're not sure where to start. What it usually looks like for many of you is you start with the basic nutrition certification to get the right knowledge to start this stuff, which can be, it's important to know how to approach nutrition and understand, what makes a healthy diet, but also what produces results. Remember, that's going to be the most important thing that your clients want. This is very much a results-based business. So if you can deliver on that, you'll never go out of business. You'll always have paying clients because you'll become the person that helps people get what they want. And that's a valuable thing. So you need the basic knowledge to be able to do that. But where those opportunities are typically lacking is that it's the application piece. It's what to do next. It's how to apply what you know into a coaching system that delivers those results. And that's why so many people do basic nutrition certifications and feel like, I just don't know what to do next. The next part is creating a coaching system that is organized and streamlined and that focuses on the things that matter the most with people, with your clients. Like I would say 90% of the clients that come to you are going to want some combination, either a body composition result, they want to improve their leanness, they want to lose some fat, they want to gain some muscle, or a combination of both, or they want to improve their athletic performance, or they just want to improve their overall health in terms of feel better, better energy, sleep better, better digestion, all those type of things. All of those goals are centered around overall energy balance in terms of total amount of calories coming in, maybe getting them to move a little bit more, as well as where that energy is coming from and the macronutrients that compose those calories. So protein, carbohydrates, and fat. That's why in the Nutrition Coaching Academy, we deliver, a nutrition plan that focuses on both the structure of what someone needs to be doing. So keeping checks and balances around their calories and macronutrients. And that's kind of like the roadmap, as well as what fills that structure. And this is the coaching side of things. And the art of coaching is that what do they need to be doing to fill that structure? Is it getting more prepared? Is it further education on how to adhere or stick to the plan? Is it something else in terms of like, do they need to be moving more? Is it steps? Is it, mindset? Is it like getting out of their own way? You need both of these things to create a plan around that. And then creating a coaching process around that. But your focus needs to, if you deliver a plan that doesn't address any of that, maybe you focus on like food choices or meal choices or like a rules-based thing or eat this, don't do that. Like you're overlooking the scientific principles that produce results. And that could work, but it's going to be because the plan produced that sort of outcome, not because of it or in spite of it, would be a better way of thinking about it. So you got to focus on those type of things. Then you build a coaching process around this type of stuff. And again, I want to lay out some things for you to do today that would be helpful. But additionally, if you want the full-on system of what we teach inside the Nutrition Coaching Academy, make sure you comment system on this video. If you're watching the replay, you can do that, or in the chat right now. And if you're live right now, I'm also going to give you double entries in the raffle to raffle off the full nutrition coaching system. What a good system would look like is starting with step one, getting someone to, they know how they can start working with you would be the first thing. You need like an application form. 4 to 6 questions that get a better sense of like what someone wants to accomplish, what they've tried in the past, how motivated they are to change, and where you can contact them at would be the next thing. That's the first thing you need to have in place. Turnout Prince, you got it. Absolutely. I got you in here. If you could also just tell me your name too, so I can keep in contact or keep that in contact here. I'll put your name in the raffle and then we'll go from there. I can imagine once I know your name, I'll find you on my email list and be able to contact you as well. Let's get you that system. I love it. The next thing is, okay, so they know how to take that next step with you. When you're beginning that coaching relationship, it's maybe in the exploratory phase. You don't need every piece of information you would need to coach someone. You just need enough to start the consultation process. It's where a lot of coaches go wrong, is that they ask so much information in an initial interaction that it's overwhelming for the client, and they never take that next step. Oh, Corbin. Yeah, you bet. I definitely know Corbin. I figured it could have been you because I think your entire last name is Tarnopol or Paul, but I figured it was you. Okay, so that'd be the first thing, is that like, hey, we need to collect some information around someone wants so we can start that consultation process. In the Nutrition Coaching Academy, we teach a process that like is really good at taking people from curious to paying by showing the value of coaching. You got to remember that a lot of times people at the beginning of this stuff, they don't know the difference between you as a coach and an ebook or a supplement. They don't understand the value of like having someone in your corner, creating an individualized plan and following up and all those type of things. And like, that's what you could do through a consultation process, the assessment process that we teach through that free nutrition report. So like you get this application back, and the most important thing is you know what someone wants. And you know what someone not wants, it's your leverage around the entire conversation. It's no longer like, I'm just someone that knows a lot about nutrition and I'm trying to teach you something. It's showing someone what is holding them back from the goal that they want, that they felt is super important, right? So you can guide the entire process around that. And that's what makes a good sales process, is that you make it specific to what someone wants. So typically getting someone tracking the nutrition, which is the best way to get a better sense of what they're doing right now. Again, we get checks and balances for calories and macronutrients over the course of the day, which is going to be the biggest predictor around if someone gets results and if they're sticking to the things that they need to be doing. So we get them started, bought into the process through that, which is essentially just taking like a food journal and everything they're eating in terms of the items that they're eating, what makes up their meals, and taking that and turning it into the objective numbers over the course of the day. We have really good data to suggest like optimal ranges for, yep, that's right, Corbin. Get them doing 3 to 5 days of tracking to take a look at what they're doing. And that'll give you a sense of like what their normal dietary habits are like. Obviously, 5 days is just 5 days. We ideally can include a day of weekend in there. We got to also keep in mind that if someone does that, they're probably going to be, even if they've been told not to change things, they're going to change some things up to go through with that. But like, we want to get a better sense of what they're doing right now to show them what's holding them back from reaching their goals. We can do that with someone that's expressed interest in working with us and present that to them. It's going to be a great conversion mechanism around what the next step looks like. Then from there, if they're like, hey, like this sounds great, what do we do next? That's where you start to build out an actual organized and streamlined coaching process. Typically, most one-on-one nutrition coaching, which is where I would encourage most of you guys to start, should include a weekly check-in. That's a touch point that isn't live, so you don't need to be having a meeting with these people. But what your client needs to know is what information they should provide in the check-in. Typically, we're going to be asking some questions in a form. We're going to submit the objective information around how their week went. So from the tracking data, based on the plan that you outlined with some targets, how their week went. They're going to know where that is as well. They should know what day to submit it on. They should know when to submit it by. They should know what happens if they don't submit it in time. And there's a late check-in and what that looks like. You should have that process built out and organized so that you can start coaching people. If I was to go through this all entirely again and go through this process, I would try to get some people to express interest that they want to do this with me do an assessment on them and start to build out that coaching process and organize it as I help them. Remember, you're probably, if we think about 3 to 5 days of tracking and all that type of stuff, you're probably at least 2 weeks away from doing this with someone anyway. But we could start to, it's a lot easier to follow through with this type of stuff if you have someone live doing it with you, like you're walking through the process as a client to create some accountability around that type of stuff. It's a lot easier to create something when someone's expecting us to do it. And that's why it's so good to take action and put yourself out there and go through this process with people, because it makes it much more likely that you'll do it. That's what we do within the program, is like push you a little bit to start these things, build some confidence, start helping people. That's how businesses are built, and they grow and kind of go from there. So I would go through that process and build that out with someone so that they know on Mondays, I have my check-in with my coach, Dr. Mark. This is what it looks like. This is what I submit. This is what's next. Here's the response that I'm going to get back, and how you respond to that check-in. The best way of doing it that is effective with your time, that's still personable, that still gets results, is the hybrid check-in process. So you're going to be walking over that check-in with video or video response using something like Loom, and talking through what you're seeing, what went well, what needs to change, wrap it up with a few action items around maybe you're changing their food levels, maybe you're keeping them the same, but maybe you're just telling them how to improve on what they're doing, or what you're seeing in terms of what would be the difference maker in terms of putting things into action. Put that into action, you send along the video as well as a paper trail, like an email that's describing the big picture of things that you talked about. Send that off, and then your check-in is complete. Now this is, and if you're just tuning in, amazing, welcome. I'm giving you everything you need here today, but there's even a better version of that, which is our nutrition coaching system. If you want to be included in the raffle to get a version of that, comment system in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, the same thing would apply for you. And I'll put you in the raffle to raffle this off. And I'll do it sometime in the next few days to let some people check out the video and go from there. Now, this type of service, you're doing it one-on-one. The best way of like actually presenting the business offering of how your coaching works is through a monthly coaching rate. It's the easiest way to deliver the service. You don't have to think. A lot of people are like, well, I want people to be committed for a longer period of time. It's going to take them 3 months to get results anyway, like that. But that's completely true, without a doubt. But the best place to get this stuff started is to get people to see the value of how well it feels to be taken care of, to have a plan, something to execute on. And you can do that within a month, and then just set it up as a recurring payment that goes through on the same day of the month. And that's how you run the service, with or without you. Netflix can do that. You can do that with your coaching, and people will stay on for a longer period of time. We've measured this. Instead of someone signing up for a 3-month package, they're more likely to stay for 4 months or 7 months. And that usually gives you enough time to help them get results, as well as phase them out from dieting, or do another phase, or kind of go from there. A lot of times coaches think there's like this industry myth that you start working with a coach and that they should give you everything they need, and then you're done and you could be released out in the wild. But in reality, there's like, clients don't need to leave. They could have different goals, different approaches, different things to focus on, be it maintenance, be it a different athletic pursuit, different goal, opposite direction. Maybe they've gained muscle, maybe now they want to get leaner. You can work with them over longer periods of time. And I can tell you sincerely that I've had clients that have worked with me with various goals on a monthly recurring payment for 6 years straight. Didn't miss. Were they tracking the entire time? No, we did different approaches in different phases. But at the beginning, you should try to do this stuff one way with most of them, but you don't need to kick them out just because they've quote unquote graduated. Go about it that way. Most beginning coaches should be doing like setting a monthly rate between like $200 to $250 a month. Intermediate coaches like $250 to $400 a month. As you build more experience and confidence going through that process, you can raise your rates, and I would encourage you to do so incrementally as you get more people in, and that's how you scale this and kind of go from there. There is probably a top end around how many clients you could work with in this capacity. You're probably not anywhere close to that. I've worked with over 100 clients at the same time. On most coaches can handle around like 10 to 15 check-ins per day, probably around 4 to 5 hours of consistent work that way. But it does take like a mental toll a little bit in terms of you're working through with people. You got to be sharp. You got to give them your best, that kind of stuff. So it can't be just forever work kind of thing. It's probably not a full 8 hours, but if you spread that out over the course of the week, it's probably much more clients than you're currently thinking. Corbin says, would you then upscale the cost after they reach their original goals? No, and in most cases, I would keep it the same, because the service is like what they're signing up for is education, support, accountability, and strategy to reach their goals would be the biggest thing. So goals could change and it'll be a little bit different, but they'd appreciate that type of thing. What a lot of coaches default to is that, like, maybe since it's less work on my end now, I would charge less money, but I don't think you should do that. I think it's with the intent of they're paying for you to help them get results. Just focus on that. And like that's the intent of it. So the rate would be the same, not different. If it took more of your time or energy, or there's something that you added in, or like you gained experience, maybe there's room for you to increase the price. But for most people, we grandmother that rate in, and then go from there. Those are my thoughts around that. Then you deliver this coaching, that monthly rate, set up like a recurring payment button, which you can easily do through Stripe or PayPal or something along those lines, which charges them on a monthly basis. And then the onus is on the client to cancel before the next payment goes through, and goes from there. And that's the stuff I would do to start nutrition coaching this upcoming year. If you want to see more of the like inner workings of the systems that we use to deliver this, make sure you comment system on this video, and I'll put you in the raffle. Right now we have Corbin in it with 2 entries, and he's going to win it, which I'm happy with, Corbin, unless you guys chime in as well. So engage in this and take me up on that, and I'll do a raffle for that. Outside of that, what makes our program different is that there's hands-on support. There is mentorship and guidance from me. If you find these kind of videos helpful, you should see what happens when we sit down in the conversation and think about exactly what you need to do and come up with a plan and walk through it together. It's a complete game changer. So if you haven't considered taking our program, you definitely should, because the amount of progress that you can make in 90 days, which is actually technically 120 days right now, if you get in on our exclusive offer with a free month of time in the program before January 5th, then it's just off to the races. That's it for today. Anyone else have any other questions? I'm meeting actually with one of our new students for their welcome call in about 5 minutes here to hit the ground running, map out some goals of exactly what her business will look like in the first 3 months of 2026, which is the power of the program. So if you want more details around that, feel free to send me an email, and get in that raffle by writing the words system down in the comments or in the chat, and I'll raffle that off in the next few days. That's it for right now. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good day, guys. Bye. Now, as great as all those tips are, maybe you're still wondering how to start or grow your nutrition coaching. Here's what I want you to do. Go to the first link down in the description below, and you'll get all the details on our Nutrition Coaching Academy certification. It's a 90-day program that'll give you everything you need to start nutrition coaching or to take your nutrition coaching business to the next level. Check out all the details down in the link below, and thanks for watching.